Hello guys, welcome back to Primestrux. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at how to detail a reinforced concrete slab using AutoCAD Structural Detailing. AutoCAD Structural Detailing is a powerful tool just like AutoCAD Architecture used for drawing architectural drawings, but this one is specifically for structural detailing. So we'll be looking at how to draw the bars within the slab and then how to detail them as well as how to draw the bending schedule. This is going to be an interesting one, so stay tuned to the end. Right, so let's start. To begin, we'll have to first of all draw the bars within the slab panels. For the purposes of our detailing, we are assuming all the bars are spaced at 150 mm center to center, and the diameter of bar we are using is H12, that is high tensile 12 mm diameter. Right, to start off, we'd have to draw the bars within the panels, and I'll show you how to draw the bars as well. So you can head on to this button here, reinforcement elevation, click on it once, and this window will pop up. So you can select the diameter you would want to use, but we are using 12 mm, so I'll select that. And then you can as well change the cover to reinforcement. So I'm using 25 mm, so I will leave it as it is. And we have these options here. So the first one is when you want to draw a straight bar. So that is the 2 points. But if you want to draw a bar with different orientations or shapes, then you have to use the fourth option, that is the points option. So considering our panels, we'll need a main bar that will span from grid line 1 to 3, and then again we'll need a distribution in this direction, that is in the vertical direction. So we are going to start off drawing the main bar, which is the positive, the reinforcement that is taking care of the positive movement occurring with this pan within the panels. And then we'll also look at how to draw the top bars, which is taking care of the negative or the hugging movement at the supports of the beams. So we are going to draw a U bar that will start somewhere within grade line B, get to grade line A, and then come back within the slab. So sort of a U bar. To draw that, we'll select this button, the fourth button here, as I mentioned, that is used for drawing bars with different shapes or orientation. So I'll click on that once, and then I can start drawing my bar here. So I'll click on it once again, head into the beam edge here, click on it. I would select, come to the command line here, select side, and the crank length is supposed to be 100 mm. So I'll type in 100, enter, and then come down. You can place it anywhere. Later on, would get the right dimensions. So just place it here and click enter. Okay, so we can check the dimensions of this bar. To do that, you can click on this button here. So click on it once and select it. You can place it somewhere here. Okay, so that is the length here. So the length of this is 3,375, and the crank portion is 100 mm. This side, the other length is 775 mm. Top bar would have to extend within this slab 1/4 of the span. So that is 3,150 divided by 4. 3,150 divided by 4, and that is 787. So let us round it up to the nearest 50. That will be 800. So I can draw a construction line. To draw a construction line, you do XL and then enter. You can place the construction line just at the tip of beam on grid line A, and then we'll offset it. So offset it by 800, right? and then we'll extend this. It is not touching because of the cover, so you'd have to extend it by 25 again. That's great. Now, yeah, so we can delete that, and would extend this by 3 to 5. So that is the lap length here. Now we would have to draw another main bar that would span from grid line 1 to 3, but between the grid lines B and C. So in that case, that bar would span within the side here. That is also going to be a bottom bar. So what we can do is we would mirror this bar here. So you click on mirror, select the bar, enter, you select the direction and then enter. Then you can move this bar down here. You'd have to allow the cover, so move it up 25 mm. And this bar, you can move this to the left, to the right a little. Extend this bar this way and 325. Yeah, so that is the anchorage length or the lap length. This is a cantilever here, so we want the top bar. We want the top bar to extend within the slab, and that would also be 1/4 of the span. So first of all, let us extend the bar here, extend it by 25 mm, and then we'll do 4,500 divided by 4. 4,500 divided by 4, which is 1125. So I'll extend it by 1125. Great. So that bar has also been drawn there. Now we'll look at the other direction as well. So that will be the distribution bar. So what we'll do is we'll copy this bar again and then bring it somewhere here. We can rotate it. So that is how flexible AutoCAD Structural Detailing is. You can orient the bar any way you want it. So I'll move it into beam on grid line 3, and then I'll allow the cover, so move it back by 25 mm. Extend this bar to beam on grid line 2, right, and then 325. Great. Now I would have to check the top bar here. It's supposed to be within the slab by 1/4 of the span, the 5,200. So 5,200 divided by 4. 5,200 divided by 4. That is 1,003 mm. So I can draw a construction line XL that is vertical, place it here, and then offset by 1,300 mm. Okay, and then extend this bar. Okay, so this bar we've just drawn will span from grid line, the edge of the cantilever, all the way to beam on grid line A. Now, similarly, we can mirror this bar to the left side as well. So we just click on mirror, click on that bar, enter, and then we put it there. Let us move it up a little and then move it again to the beam. So that is it there. Let's allow the cover, so move it by 25 mm, and let us bring this back, and then do 325. Okay, so now we have all the bars. So this main bar will span from grid line 1, that is the edge of the beam here, all the way to grid line 3. Same for this bar. We'll run from grid line 1 to 3. And then when we look at the distribution bars, okay, so that would also run from grid line, the edge of this cantilever here, right, to grid line A, and similarly this bar would also run in the same direction. Right, so now we are going to call out the bars, right? So to do that, you click on the bar that you want to distribute. So you click on it once, and then you go to ASD reinforcement. You click on reinforcement distribution. So click on that once, and then you choose the direction that you want to draw the bar. So you click on this. So we want to run it from the left to the right. And if you are doing from the right to the left, it's the same button that you use. And if it's top and bottom, you use this one. Okay. So I'll say okay. And then you'd look at the edge of this, right? You click on it once. You click at the other edge where you want to distribute. You click on it once. And then when you realize that the highlighted area is down, but you want it up within grid line A and B. So you click on side within the command menu here. So you click on side, and you realize that um, it has highlighted the grid line A and B. And then you come back here, click on it once again, click on the end of it again. You click on left click and then right click, enter. Right, so now you can specify the centers. As we mentioned earlier on, we are using 150 mm center to center. So I'll change this to 150. Click within this and the quantity of bars will be calculated. Simple as that. Then we would say OK. We'll say OK. Click OK again, and then you choose where you want to place your bar. So I want to place it somewhere here. And you realize the bar mark is the first one we've labeled, so it is 01 at 150 center to center. Now we would want to show the quantity of bars within each panel. So to do that, I would have to delete the bars within the beam. So I'll click on this one, right click, modify, delete, and I can delete this one. Okay, now to show the quantity of bars within each panel, I'll click on this right line, right click, modify, go to details, and click on design and grouping of spacings and add. Right, so you realize you need 32 of this bar within this panel and 33 within this panel. So these are the spacing. So in effect, the total number of bars will be 33 because we have 32 spacing. So if you want the bar, it is the spacing plus 1. So you would have 33 within here. And then within panel 2, 3, you have 34. So you can just copy your text or write a new text. I'll just copy one here. Reduce the text height. I can reduce the text height. I'll do 150. Okay, that is fine. I'll move it. Let me change the color. Yeah. So I can move it and position it here and change the quantity to 33. Copy it again and change this to 34. So when you add 33 plus 34, you have quantity of bars as well as this the distribution bars. You just select on the white dimension line again. So select it, right click, modify. You go to details and then on highlight this one and then add. Okay, now you can select just one bar here. You have so many options here, so I'll just select one bar. So I'll select that and close. I'll select a bar that is very close to this bar. Select this one. Great. And then move this bar to it. So that has been done. So within panel 1 to 2, would need 33 of the H1201, and then within panel 2, 3, we'll need 34. So we'll do the same thing for this bar, span it from grid line 1 to 3. So I'll draw a construction line Excel, horizontal, but select it and distribute. So this time I'll go to the right arrow here. Okay, select from the starting point to the end point, and this time it's highlighted down, so it's fine. We'll go back to the starting point, left click, to the end point, left click, right click, and enter. Great. Now we'd have to specify the centers, so that is 150. Click within this cell and quantity changed, so we'll say okay, again okay, and let us place the bar mark, the let us call the bar, so that is there, and the bar mark has changed to 02 automatically. So now we want the quantity of bars within each panel, so we'll delete this bar within the beam. So I'll click on this, right click, modify, delete, just delete one of it in there, enter. Okay, and let us show the quantity as we did previously. So click on the white line here, modify, you go to details, design of spacing, you highlight design of reinforcement spacing, and then grouping of bars. You add the quantity shown here, so it will be the same quantities for the bar with bar mark H1201 because we are spanning it within the same panel. So I'll just copy these two numbers and place it here. Great. Now I want to turn off the distribution bars as well as the quantity, so I'll select the white line, dimension line, right click, modify, details, uncheck this, and select just the bar. So I'll select this button here, one, close, and select a bar that is very close to it. So I'll select, there's even one on it, so I'll just select that. Great, so that bar has also been drawn. Now let us do the similar for the vertical bars. So I'll draw a construction line, vertical, place it at the edge of this bar. I'm spanning this bar from grid line A to see the edge of the cantilever, right? So I'll select it, go to ASD reinforcement, the distribution, select the top, the bottom button, right? I'll click on it once and then do OK. I'll come to the edge of this beam here. That is the starting point of that bar. So start and then start again to the end. Go back to the end, to go back to the beginning where it's starting. You click on that once. You click on that once. You enter. You specify your center. Click within this. The quantity will be calculated. You click on OK. Then you place your description. So I'll place it somewhere here, and it has been changed to 1203. So that's the third bar we've drawn. So now I would have to delete the bars within the beams to enable me get the quantity of bars. So I'll select on this green distribution bars here, right click, modify, delete, look for this beam. So there's a bar within this beam, so I'll delete that. Come down to beam on grid line C. There's another bar within it, so I'll click and delete that. Now, so I want to show my quantity of bars. I'll click on the white one, modify, details, design of reinforcement spacing, check that. Grouping of spacing, check that. Add, and then you close. So within this panel that is from grid line A to B, I'll need 20 because the spacing is 19. So if I want the number of bars, it will be 20. So what I can do is I'll just copy this text here, rotate it, and move it here, change it to 20, bring this here, change it to 29, right, because the number of spaces is 28, so the number of bars will be 29. Change this to, then copy it down here as well, change it to 7. Okay, now I'll need to turn off the dimensions. So I'll click on this white dimension line here, modify, details, uncheck these two, add, select, close, and select a bar that is closer to your bar you've drawn. So I'll select this one, enter, and then move this bar down. Great. Now we'll do similar for this bar. So I'll just move my construction line. To the edge of this bar. Click on it, head on to ASD reinforcement distribution. It's down. So that is the starting point from here. Down, but when you realize it's highlighted towards the left, so we want to bring it to the right. That is where the bar is. So I'll select side. Yes, and you can see it's highlighted there. You go back to the starting point, click on it, left click, the end point, left click, right click, and then enter. You change the spacing to 150, click within this, the quantity will be done. Okay, and then I'll place the bar description. Right, so we'll have to delete. It's going to be similar to this bar we just drew. So we'll delete the bars within the beams. So I'll just click on the green distribution bars, right click, modify, delete this one within the beam, and delete this one as well. Now there's no need for me to go and check the quantity of bars because it's within the same panel. So I can just copy this, the quantity of bar here, send it all the way to the side, and you realize that the quantities are the same, 56, 56, so that is fine. I'll select on the y dimension line, modify, right click, modify, go to details, this button here, click on it once, close. You select a bar that is closer to this one, so I'll select this and move my bar to it. I can move this a bit upwards. Okay, that is fine. Okay, so that is H12. That is the fourth bar we've drawn. Now we need to draw the top bars. So the top bars are basically on the beams. Those are taking care of the negative moments that occur at the supports, that is at the beams. So, and per detailing rules, so that bar extends into the left slab, that is beam, that is grade line 2 and 1 by the span divided by 4. Similarly for the right side, it extends by 1/4 of the span, that is 5,200 from grade line 2 to 3. So to do that, I'll draw a construction line. So XL vertical, I'll need one here, another one here. Now, so 5,200 divided by 4 is 1,003. So I'll offset 1,300 here, and then another 1,300 here, and head back to ASD reinforcement. And this time I'm going to use surface reinforcement. So I'll click on this once. You click on diagonal. You click on the start location. You do a diagonal to the end location. You click on it once. You do OK, and you do 2 points, right? You are spanning it from 2 points. So select 2 points, and it will ask you for the first point, which is this one, and then the end point. Right click, enter, enter. Yes, so that bar has also been drawn here. You can change the diameter as well as the type of bar. So we are using H12. So H12, you would head on to reinforcement detail, change the spacing to 150. Click within here. The quantity will be calculated, and then you do OK. Now we would have to place the bar. So we click on this from the beginning and make sure it's aligned with the other bar description. Right. Now we'll go through the beams and delete the ones that are the bars that are within the beam. So I'll click on this ones, modify, delete, delete, and that is fine. Now we need to see the quantity of bars within the bar. So I'll select the white dimension line, right click, modify, go to details, check design of reinforcement spacing, and check grouping of spacing, and add, close. So within here we have 19 spaces, so we need 20. Similarly for this we'll need 29, and for this side we need 7. So I can just straight away copy these numbers here since they are the same and bring them here. Great. Now I would have to turn off the bars, so I'll click on it, the green, I'll click on this one, right click, modify, so I'll click on the Y dimension line, right click, modify, select this button here, okay, close, and I'll select a bar that is close to the bottom bars. So usually the top bars are placed close to the bottom bars for easy identification. So I'll just click it here and enter. Right. But I want to turn off the dimension, so I'll click on it, right click, modify, details, uncheck these two, add, close. Okay, so my top bar has been drawn for beam on grid lines A, B, and C. Right, so we have it spanning from grid line, the edge of this beam here, to the edge of the cantilever down here. Now we would have to draw another top bar within this on beam on grid line B. There's going to be negative moment here, so we need another top bar here. So to do that, I'll draw another construction line. So XL, horizontal. Now 31550 divided by 4. 3,150 divided by 4 is 787. So let's do 800. So I'll offset 800, enter, and 4,500 divided by 4. 4,500 divided by 4, 1125. So I'll offset that also by 1125. So offset 1125, enter. Okay, so now we are going to draw the bar. So I'll head on to ASD reinforcement, click on surface reinforcement. I want to do a diagonal, so I'll click on this once, select, do a diagonal to this side, that is the end, click OK, come to the command menu, click 2 points, you click on the start point again, click left click to the end point, left click, right click, enter, enter. Okay, so that has been drawn. You head on to reinforcement detailing. The spacing is already 150, so that's fine. You click on OK. Right, so I'll place the bar now. I want to place it somewhere here. Right, make sure it's aligned to the other bar description. Okay, now we'll need to know the quantity of bars, but already we know there's 33 here. So what we'll do is we'll delete the bar within the beam because it's not needed. So we'll click on this, right click, modify, delete, and we'll delete that. But just to be sure about the quantity of bars, we can just check the quantity of bars. So we just click on the Y dimension line, right click, modify, details, design of reinforcement spacing, grouping of spacing, add. So we have 33 here, so that is the number of spacing. So the number of spacing is 33, plus 1 will be 34, and here is 32 spaces plus 1 will be 33. So we can just straight away copy this and bring it down. So bring it down and enter. Then we can turn off the dimensions and select just the bar. So I'll go to details, uncheck these two, add, go click on this, close, and I want that top bar somewhere here, so I'll click on these ones. Okay, and I would like to move this dimension a bit forward, yeah, to make my work neat. Okay, it looks fine now. So we are now going to draw the distribution. That is also the negative distribution bars at the supports. So we are going to start off with the panel AB spanning from grid line 1 to 3. And those are mainly at the edges of the beams. So I'll draw a construction line, horizontal, move it up by 300, the lap length, move it down by 300, and head on to ASD reinforcement, surface reinforcement. I'll do diagonal. Click on the start point, do a diagonal to the end point, click on it once. Okay, you select 2 points, you head on to the start point, click on it once, to the end point, right click, enter, enter. Okay, so that has been drawn there. We'll have to change the bar type and diameter. So we want to do high tensile. So we want to do high tensile. So change it to 12 mm. Then change the spacing. It's already at 150, so that is fine. I'll click on OK. Okay. And then place the bar. So I want to place it somewhere here. I'll click on that. Come all the way to the end. Enter. Now I would have to delete some of the bars within the beam. So I'll click on the distribution bars, right click, modify, delete, and delete. Okay, so that has been deleted. And then, so at this edge, so as I mentioned earlier on, these distribution bars are the edges of the beams, right? And they are going to lie on top of the main bottom bars, right? On top of these top bars here. So I can draw construction lines, Excel, vertical, at the edge of this, at the edge of this, at the edge of this bar, and then at the edge of this. And then I'll delete the bars that I don't need. So I'll click on this one, modify, and delete. Okay, so within this space or within this area, I don't need the bars there. So I'll delete them. And similarly, I'll delete the bars here as well. Right, so now I need to check the quantity of bars I have. So I'll click on this white dimension line, modify, go to details, design of reinforcement, and grouping of, I'll check these two and add. So here I have 8, I have 9 here, I have 7, 7. So plus 1, plus 1. So this will be, let's copy this. So this will be 8, right? This will be 8. This will be, oops. Okay, so that is this bar would have to be deleted because it's outside the construction line, right? It's not going to align with this. It's not going to be 1/4 of the span. So I would have to delete this. So I'll click on the distribution bars, modify, and delete this one as well. Right, so yes, so now we have 9 here. And similarly, we'll have 9 for this span as well. Right, so that is the bar mark is H1207. So I would have to turn off the distribution bar. So I'll just click on the white dimension line, modify, select this one, close. I want that bar somewhere here. So I just click on it once. Okay. And then turn off my dimensions. So the quantity of bars. Yes, so click on the uncheck these two and add. Right, so that has also been done there for me. And similarly, I'll need another top distribution bar within this panel. So what I will do is I can delete these construction lines. What I'll do is draw another construction line. So Excel, horizontal, place it here, move it up by 300. That is the anchorage length 300. Move this also down by 300. Then I can draw the bar. So I'll head on to ASD reinforcement, surface reinforcement, click on diagonal, click on the start point, do a diagonal to the end point. I'll click on OK, 2 points, start from the start point, go to the end point, left click, right click, enter, enter. Great. Now I'll change the bar type to height and cell, and then change it to the bar diameter to 12. Right. And I'll check the bar spacing. So the bar spacing is at 150, that's fine. And do OK. Right, so I'll place the bar. I would like to place it somewhere here, and then extend it all the way to the right. Make sure it's aligned with the previous bar descriptions. Enter. Now I'll delete this bar within the beam. So delete. I don't need these bars within the center of this panel. There's no need for compression reinforcement within this part here. So I'll delete them. So in our next tutorial, we'll be looking at how to finalize the detailing of the slab, and then we'll look at how to generate the bending schedule. Again, we'll look at how to generate the quantities for the quantity surveyors to do their bill of quantities. So stay tuned.